All right, let's talk reading goals for 2023. Maybe this video won't just be about reading goals. Maybe we'll just talk about life goals, but I wanted to sit down and say, hey, because it's been 6 months since you guys have seen me. I have a few videos coming that I've already filmed, but I wanted to get this one out because I haven't really gotten to sit down and talk to you. There's been so much going on in my life. If you've been following along on Instagram or on my personal Instagram, you know, at the beginning of this year, shortly before that, I got a new job. I'm with the same company, but new job. We bought a house in April. We got two, yes, you heard me right, 2 8-week-old puppies. They are sisters. They are labs. If once again, if you've been following me on Instagram, you have seen them. And you know, we already have 3 cats, and you know, we have the room for everybody, but life is crazy and it is hectic. We've been remodeling our home. I'm in the middle of a bathroom remodel. The reason why we're filming in the living room is because the library hasn't been put together yet. Like, it's been a ride, and things are starting to settle a bit more in like my life, and I wanted to sit down and talk about it. So yeah, let's talk about it. So my reading goals for 2023 are pretty simple. So this past year I read 37 books. I think I had a goal of 27. I don't know where I got that number, pretty arbitrary. But I think for this year I would be excited to read 50. And the number doesn't necessarily matter to me, but what I want it to be is 50 books that I haven't read before. So as I'm going through and reading, you know, I always go back to my old favorites. They're comfort reads for me. They just make me so happy. So I'm sure that those will make its way. But I don't necessarily want to count those towards that goal. So I want to read 50 new books this year. And those can be books that I own. It can be me continuing to utilize Scribd and the library. I just want to, you know, not necessarily focus on the number so much, but I'm kind of using it as a gauge of like how I'm doing mentally. So another thing that changed this past year is I started some pretty intensive therapy, and I think it's really good, and I think everybody can benefit from therapy, but it did take a lot out of me, and it continues to take a lot out of me, like emotionally, because doing that work and really getting to the root of like how you're feeling, how you're doing, what causes, you know, some of the things that you're going through, it really gets you in your head. And I found myself really struggling to really be able to read. And I won't necessarily go into like, you know, what I'm in therapy for and blah, 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 blah. But I think everybody can benefit from it. And naturally, I am a firm believer in that. So that's what I'm doing. And so for me, reading this past year hasn't been the escape that I necessarily normally got to experience, because like I said, I've been so in my head, and reading, when you read, you're so in your head, and I found a lot of things that I was reading to be triggering, which is why I read a lot of my favorites. So this year, in reading 50 new books that I haven't read, it is my hope that if I'm able to achieve that, it will mean that I'm less triggered by things, that I am doing better emotionally and able to consume like new content and risk, like, you know, being surprised by something or let down by something, or, you know, not loving a book, that kind of thing. So that is my reading goal technically. When it comes to resources, so I want to continue to use like Scribd and the library. They are hands down my favorites. I don't necessarily want to add a whole lot of books to my collection. I definitely don't have as many books as I used to. I used to have like over 400, and I'd be surprised if I had even over 200. I think this past year I've bought maybe 30 or 40 books. So for me, I know that sounds like a lot, but like for me, as somebody who spends like every extra penny that they have on books, that's a pretty small, manageable number, I think. Rocco got us an espresso he got me an espresso for Christmas, and it's easily the best purchase of 2022. Got a new car, got puppies, got a house, but no, the Nespresso is the best purchase of 2022. I think when it comes to like videos and filming and, you know, like being present and being on social media, if the last year taught me anything, and it's also because I'm getting older, I don't feel the need to perform in a way. So essentially, like, there's a lot of activism and involvement online. And as you know, I don't have like Facebook, I don't have Twitter, I don't, I do Instagram and I do YouTube. And I do that for a reason. It's because I try to live my life outside of social media in a way that benefits the world. So I try to be as kind to people as I know how, because you can only do as much as you know until somebody teaches you better. I try to treat everybody with a level of respect. And so when it comes to sort of the content that I want to make on here, I don't really want to do a whole lot of discussion videos. I don't want to do a whole lot of, or at least when it comes to like social things. I think that a lot of people are called to do that, and I applaud them for that, but I find it drains my mental health pretty horribly. I think because part of my issue that I struggle with is like around being a good person. So I see myself feeling really awful for some of the things that are happening, and sort of some of, even like the drama that happens, like feeling frustrated when people are treated a certain way, or there's like things happening just on like a dramatic front, not even like on a social justice front, just like on a dramatic front. Like, I don't want to be involved in any of that crap. And it's because I don't want or feel the need to like talk about it outside of like the life that I live. Like, I'm having conversations with people in my life. I'm having conversations with like coworkers and, just people that I meet. And I think that is just as important. And I've discovered over the last 6 months, that's part of the reason why I stepped back from YouTube, is because I found it to be very performative, and I found it to be, it was sad because I felt like no one, or very few people actually knew me, and all they got was like 15 minutes of me, like in a video. And I want to like develop connections, and most of that is happening and will continue to happen in, I don't want to say real life because this is my real life, but in my day-to-day life and interactions with people. So a lot of those discussion videos, speaking up about drama and being involved in drama, and or even like being involved in like, things that are happening in the world. Like, I'm not going to be doing things like that online. I will be involved in those kinds of things in my real life, where I feel like I can make a real impact. And like I said, I applaud the people that do it online. I think there is such a benefit to that for, educating people and, maybe letting people know about something they don't know, or teaching them better. Like I said, you can only do as good as you can until somebody teaches you how to do it a different way, or shows you kind of what you're doing wrong. And those videos, that's what they're for. But I don't have the mental capacity to do them, so I won't be doing that. I do want to do more reviews. Now, this has been, 2023 is going to be the year of doing hard things. It's going to be the year of doing my incredibly intensive therapy. It's going to be the year of raising puppies and, buying a house and really making it our home. But again, like, it's going to be the year of doing things I'm afraid to do on here as well. So it's going to be book reviews, which is something that I'm not great at, something that I find very difficult, that I want to continue to do more of. I want to do more creative things on my channel. I want to do more vlogging and inviting you guys into my life on, a different level, I guess, than I used to, which brings me to where I've been and kind of what you can expect from me on a personal level moving forward. So like I mentioned earlier, part of my kind of shift in mentality has been due to sort of what's going on in my life, what's going on in the world, and the fact that I'm getting older. So I find when you hit your breaking point, because I definitely did in 2022, I would say 2022 has been the hardest year of my life. And I've always prided myself on being someone who can really deal with a lot. So if you've been wondering where the fuck I've been, I've been in my head. I haven't connected with people. I think there's just been a lot of change, good and bad. And so moving forward, I will always speak about the importance of mental health. I mean, as you guys know, I struggle a lot. I have OCD. I have PTSD. I was recently diagnosed with ADHD. So, I will always advocate and talk about like the struggles and things like that. But what I really want to do in 2023 is give my love and attention and the bits of me that I can give to people in my life. And that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be present. It doesn't mean I'm not going to talk to people, like, but I've always been such an open book online and on Instagram and answering questions and like talking about things. And I don't really want to do that like right off the get with like meeting someone. Like I want to develop friendships, and I think it's really important to have, you know, relationships with people. And, you know, you might not know somebody, but then you start talking and they, you know, you meet online and you become like really good friends. I have multiple friends like that I'm like, well, thank God, you know, we started talking. So I think once I develop a relationship with someone, you know, I might open up a little bit more about that. But I mean, we're not going to see it like on social media a whole lot. Like I'm not going to get on a vlog and just talk about, you know, how horrible things have been. And like I said, I will be honest, but not to the degree I think I was before. I think it invites a lot of negativity and opinions into your life. And that's not something that I necessarily, you know, want to keep putting out there for people. It's not high on my list of things that I want to do. I really just want to mind my own business and talk about things that I love and sometimes things that I don't necessarily love. And just, I don't know, keep it a bit lighter. Hopefully that's okay with you guys, because I know people all the time tell me, and like I said, this is part of the reason why I stopped filming. People all of the time tell me that they're so glad that I'm so open about my mental health online and how it's really helped them. And I think there will be a time and a place, or times and places that I may do that. But I think overall, I won't, because it gets really hard. Like you're having a good day and then you're editing footage where you were having a bad day, and it like reminds you of it and it takes you back into that. And I want this presence online to be as authentic as possible. And I think I've been struggling with trying to figure that out over the last 6 months and having the drive to like come on here and try to make that shift. And I think I just needed to step back for a while. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I think it'll be good, and I hope you guys are excited for it. Like, I'm going to be here and I'm going to be present and I'm going to be as me as I've always been. It's another thing I've learned being almost 33 years old. Life is way too short. There are 2 rules that your parents told you that are 100% true. Number 1, time goes by so fast, and you will wake up one day and be like, holy shit, where did the last year of my life go? I'm like, where did the last 10 years of my life go? And the older you get, the quicker it goes. And number 2, the older you get, the less you care. Like, I don't care about people's opinions of me. And there's so much people don't know about me, even on social media. And I'm hoping to show more of that side to you guys, as opposed to, I guess, like the mental health side of things. So prepare yourself for vlogs and, you know, talking about books and talking about the pups and talking about the kitties and the house and the renovations and all of that. And will it kill my channel if it hasn't already? Who knows? But we're going to find out together. 2023 is going to be the year of doing new things and doing things that may scare the absolute shit out of us, but we're going to do them together. We're going to experience them together. And if by the end of the year I only have 10 people subscribed to me, what does it matter? But yeah, I'm going to leave this video here because I've been filming for over 10 minutes about God knows what. But I love you guys. I have 2 videos coming. So I have my top rated books of the year and then my lowest rated books of the year, which I don't really love filming that video. So hopefully you guys will watch it. But I love you, and I will see you in my next video.